up the hill today. Thanks for joining me on my walk. Yeah, it's gonna be a hot one today. A little rain last night. A lot of humidity in the air. So, how do you start your day? I think that's pretty important. I was reading a piece today, the New York Times about a new internet term called doom scrolling. Doom scrolling. That is, we spend all our time sort of scrolling the internet to read one bad thing after another. If it isn't about the virus, it's about the economy. If it isn't about the virus or the economy, it's about immigration. It's about health care. It's about the fall election. I mean, it goes on, and often, has an element of doom to it. So I don't know if this will work for you, but just I'll tell you what I try to do. So I get up in the morning, I have my cup of coffee. Then I sit down and I have some spiritual things that come in the morning. I usually read one of the Psalms, maybe do a little bit of prayer, a little bit of kind of centering myself. I read those positive pieces of meditation scripture that I get, just a couple of them in the morning. Then I've got an online app with the New York Times. I scroll that. Try not to do doom scrolling, but I scroll it with this in mind. And many of you who might run across me on Facebook find this, that I try to put forth and repost positive articles. I think for the most part I've done that. Things that'll be uplifting or important information for us to know. And I really, really try to stay away from partisan politics as much as possible. And so that kind of begins my day. And then, by that time, Mocha is expecting me to be taking her for a walk. And she'll sit there and stare at me until here I go. So, took the hill this morning. A little bit of extra effort, but I think we have to be aware from being too doom and gloom, too negative out there, and try to think about the positive aspects of what's going on. I know it might be hard for you, but we're not going to change anything between now and November, and November will tell us if we want to change or not. Most of the reforms that I thought were going to happen in the area of policing seem to be somewhat in abeyance, struggling over, fighting about whether we should defund the police departments, which is in effect switching to other things. I see a large city just switch their 911 center over to a different budgeting source, and they moved parking enforcement over to transportation, and thereby claiming they've defunded the police. Well, that's not what I think it's all about. And it's certainly not about eliminating the police. I mean, for heaven's sakes, we need to have some trained, rational, accountable people out there who will sort out the messes we get ourselves into. I think that's pretty important. So, and after that, well, we 5 days a week we do dialysis. Today's a off day, so I'll have a social distance outside meeting with my best friend Jeff this morning. Sometimes we FaceTime, and we only live about a mile apart, so we can do that. So I think that's an important part of a schedule for the day. And I don't have the energy I once have, and there's a lot of chores to do around this little farmstead, and so I'll maybe book maybe an hour and a half to do some chores, and quite frankly, that's just about enough for me. Yeah, and then we love the British serials. We're watching the great British Detective Chief Inspector Vera in our series. We kind of like that because hey, there's no shooting. turn on an American cop show, and there's a lot of guns and shooting. This is a little bit calming for both of us, having served in the field. So that's pretty much the day, and I just encourage you to, you know, think positive. Maybe get a piece of scripture or positive things sent to you each day, and meditate on those, and remember that it's good. Most of us should be very grateful for where we find ourselves today, even if we have to fight this epidemic. I think we will get through this. It's going to take a lot longer than we thought, and it's going to have to be a lot more. I think there's going to have to be a mental shift in our society, a little bit less to me, and a little bit more towards other people, so that we can live together in peace and harmony and share the great wealth of this nation that we've all helped create. All right, so have a good day. God bless you. Don't doom scroll. Bye-bye.